Hey there, Prez. How are you?
Hey, Miss Lisa, how you doing today?
I'm good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm just going to ignore that part of the what you just said, and we'll just get on with what we are here to do. So, what week is this? Are we almost to week 30 now?
Almost.
Okay.
I
So,
believe it's 29.
29. Yeah, you keep track better than me. So, we started um we've never gone through a football season.
No, we haven't.
No, and football just started a few days ago. How do you think that's gonna go? Do you think we should change the day? Do you, what do you think? Any thoughts?
Hmm.
Any
I don't
thoughts?
know. I was
Should we
thinking
take
about that. I was thinking about that the other night. I was watching the Ravens play Thursday. I was like, we about to have a Sunday game soon. I'm gonna be like glued to the TV. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I think maybe we should take some surveys and find out what we should do. So, thank you everyone that is watching so far. Thanks for tuning in. So, who do we have so far? We have Miss Frugal, Tim,
Ding 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 ding
G,
ding.
hey Peachy, Nija. So Nija, is that you budgeting the bacon? Um, I'm not sure if you use a different channel sometimes. So what are you giggling about over there, Fred?
I was making fun of Miss Frugal. I kept saying ding 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 ding.
So I missed out on missing Nija when I was in Texas. And a couple of other people that I didn't even someone that was at the event with me, I didn't notice until this morning that they were at the same event, so, next time around, but, unlike unusual for me, I usually do things and then post when I get back and I'm, safe in my house with the house alarm on, then I post that I was there.
Wow.
But this time I posted that I was in Irving, Texas. And so I wanted to give people a chance to reach out because Texas is a big, huge state. I don't know who's in the Houston area or Austin or this or that. I know everything is hours apart, but I was out there for a few days for Vid Summit, but now I am back and I didn't miss an episode with you.
Right. I was a little worried though. I'm like,
Today? Yeah, you should have been
yeah,
working today. I just got home. That's another reason why I think maybe the Sunday should change, but we'll think about the football. And you guys that are watching so far, thanks for being here. As I said, let us know what you think we should do. We should try to move the live. 'Cause
Tim
even
already
later.
answered. He said he not trying to hear that. The football players already made their money.
Who said that?
That's Tim.
Tim said that in the chat?
Yeah. He said they made their money.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
But even the 3 o'clock, I didn't know if people like the 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock because we've only done that twice as far as
Mhm.
our Sunday show. But let's get into it. Um, yes, Nija reached out to me. She was like, "Lisa, are you still here?" I'm like, "Oh no,
Oh no.
I was not there." Um, So let's talk about our topic of the week. And, we try to talk about all different things here, but we want everyone to, whether you're brand new to the game or, got into investing a little later in life, whatever area you're at. Even if you're not up to the stage of investing yet, you're working on saving, getting that emergency fund. We want to be here to support you through whatever stage you're at on your financial journey. So, but right now, the market is crashing. And it is going to be a time that shakes out a lot of investors, even investors that have been in the game for a little bit, never mind the ones that are really new. So, Prez, give us a little insight as to what our topics are and why you chose them for this week.
Basically, I would like to revisit, since the market is coming down, I would like to revisit a previous topic that we discussed before, and that is staying consistent during a market downturn, how it can benefit you in the long run just by simply staying consistent.
Okay, okay. So, thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe to both of our channels, and you know, let me say this. My first official time saying this to you because I haven't spoke to you. Congratulations, Prez is
Thank you.
now reached partial monetization over on his side. So there are many ways to support us both: channel membership, super chat, super stickers. So I wanted to bring that to your attention also. And congratulations, Press.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Um, yes, long road there. Our journeys have been different. My journey was I had I had 3,000 subscribers, over 3,000 subscribers, and people were like confused as to Lisa's not monetized yet because I didn't have the
Right.
hours. But you got the hours, and so just a little flip flop there with our journey, but everyone's is different. Um, all right. So let's start off with point number one. Yes, congratulations, Prez.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Me and Nija, we hit that milestone like exactly at the same time. I think we got our Google whatever that code number that comes in the mail. I think
Hmm.
we got it on the same day.
Wow.
Yes. So
That's what I'm waiting for, the code number to come into the mail.
yeah, yeah. I will talk about that offline. I was having a little struggles with getting the thing set up there, but you'll see. It might go easier for you because
Hmm.
sometimes, I'm not ashamed to say sometimes I think, is it the user error? Is it me that has this struggle and no one else? So you have to figure it out. AdSense. Yes, we did. Yeah, we
It's
got our
been pretty
AdSense.
easy so far. It's been pretty seamless. They just been taking me step by step. I've been
Yeah.
watching the little videos that they've been sending in my emails
Yeah,
and just,
yeah. So
taking it
sometimes
step by
those
step.
little videos weren't helping me sometimes, but I'm glad it's going well for you. But I made it through because yeah, I've been getting paid. I think I'm going to be coming up on my third YouTube paycheck. Yes. Um, where is my phone? Uh Triple G, thanks for tuning in. Thank you everyone who's here. So let's get started with point number one of our topic of the day. So, staying consistent during market downturns is our theme of today so far. Well, not so far, is our theme of today, guys. So, let's get started. Don't allow a market crash to scare you out of good, solid investments. This is something that we've been talking about week after week, but um, Prez wants to keep on with it, and I do too, because we are actually here now. We are in September, and September and October, and the election may really scare you when you look at your portfolio. It may turn your stomach when you are looking at your portfolio. So, what's the first thing you want to talk about in this area, Prez? Are you muted?
Number one, stay the course, especially if you are properly allocated as well as well diversified, meaning you have majority of your funds allocated to a good sound ETF, whether it be VTI or VOO, or both for that matter, and just stay consistent. Um, it may be someone in the audience watching right now that jumped into the fastest moving car and their portfolio is probably bleeding out right now. You understand what I'm saying? Like the Nvidia hype train and the Tesla hype train and Palantir and things of that nature. Well, Palantir has been performing well actually compared to the rest of the overall market, but you understand what I'm saying? Like a kind of like sort of like a meme stock. You'll see an influencer pump it up on YouTube, and you're new to the game, and naturally you're gonna have that mindset, that JG Wentworth type of mindset. Is my money and I need it now. So
Mhm.
you're probably gonna overindulge, or you probably already have overindulged into a company like that that's actually trash. So the best thing I could say to defeat that is reevaluate what you did, and you may have to potentially cut your losses now versus waiting for it to be down 30-40% year to date, and then you're looking at it wondering what to do, and just simply reallocate your funds to more good sound investments.
Okay, okay. So you mentioned Palantir, so let me highlight MG's, comment for a second here because I was gonna touch on this later on. So, Palantir is being added to the S&P 500 as of September 23rd, and Dell is coming back to, the S&P. It had been removed, but it's being, reinstated and, coming up later on this month. So have you been reading about that, Prez?
That's actually new to me, so I
Oh,
need to be
okay.
taking a note of this, and
Yeah,
I will
maybe
be
we can.
finding out the real scoop as to what's going on because this is new to me.
Okay, okay. And B Right is saying, is VTI a good price right now? Maybe we can save that for Q&A, or do you want to touch on that now? Have you been
I can
do
touch
you
on it right now. Any
okay.
price is a good price for VTI. If you look at the overall performance of it, like yeah, you may buy it today and it may pull back tomorrow, but that's the whole purpose of dollar cost averaging small amounts on a consistent basis regularly. That way you don't worry about it. You should be looking 10, 20, 30 years down the road, depending on your age and where your starting point was and how much you're actually investing regularly from the get-go.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So you know what? I would say
I say any price is a good price for BTI because it's an ETF. You have almost 4,000 companies inside of that one basket. So unless you're betting on the failure of human civilization as we know it, then BTI is always going to continuously go up. You can look at the past 10-year performance of BTI compared to anything else other than VOO, then they pretty much perform basically the same. So yeah, any price is a good price for BTI. If you want to be totally honest, you want my honest opinion, yeah, I will buy it any day, every day of the week.
okay, okay. So I was gonna say that I think last week we had the holiday on Monday.
Hmm.
Little off topic here. But I think last week might be the first time that I bought $50 of VTI on Friday, because that's my
Wow.
daily thing that I do. But I was just so busy and the days were passing, and I was just like, I guess I'm gonna have to just buy all my days at one shot. I don't think that's ever happened in over 100 weeks.
I wish
I
I
think
had
that
my button.
I
I wish I had my
what
button.
button would you be hitting for that
Hurry up
one,
and
Chris?
buy. Hurry up
For
and buy.
I no, I did. Um, so but let's move on. But I might come back to this. All right. So you already touched on this. You were saying, think about the big players. I think you mentioned Palantir and another
Hmm.
company,
Hmm.
and they have proven track records. They may drop, everything may drop during a market crash, but that doesn't mean that they're no longer a good company.
Right.
Definitely not. We all know that, but we can't just be so shaken and turned off by seeing the fluctuations. That's a part of the market.
Hmm.
And there's no reason to panic sell. Um, well-researched companies, strong investments. We got to put in the work ahead of time so that when we have to see these downturns, when we have to see our portfolio pulling back, that we know it's going to recover, and we have to have that. We're at 2024. We have to have that 2030 vision, that 2040 vision when we're looking at our portfolio sometimes. So imagine you bought a company like Apple 10 years ago during a time like we're going through right now. Imagine you bought Apple or Microsoft back in 2008. What it has grown to today, you wouldn't have wanted to be shaken out of your position back then. You have to have the vision to say, what is it going to be looking like down the road 15, 16, 17 years from now? So
Hmm.
I know it's hard, but that's what investing is, and that is what we believe is a great way that we should all be taking a part of in order to build our wealth. So, do you agree with me, Prez?
I sure do. And I also agree with what the one is saying. He said a pullback is the best time to buy. And it actually is. I totally agree with him on that. A pullback is the best time to buy because you never know when the next pullback is coming. Because if you look at the overall charts on just about anything that's worth investing into long term, it consistently goes up. Yeah, it has pullbacks here and there, but the pullbacks compared to how much it actually goes up is
Mhm.
very minimal.
Okay, okay, Prez. All right. So let me move on to point 2 and you can give me a second. I'm going to be distracted for like a quick second, but let's get started on point 2 if you're ready to move on.
Hmm.
Okay. So why staying consistent during a market crash is important. And what we really want to highlight here is compound interest. I think we should throw in dividends too. So,
Right.
Prez, can you start to share on this topic? Or
Basically,
on this points in our
according to
5 points
according
that we're
to
gonna.
Albert Einstein, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it. He who doesn't will end up paying it. And that's come from consumer debt like your credit card debt or your student loan debt or something like that. If you don't understand the way that compound interest works and you make it work in your favor and you give it time to work in your favor, then the outcomes, the possibilities are basically endless. So it's very important that you do stay consistent during a market downturn because you could be potentially missing out on gains due to compound interest alone, just from basically staying consistent. It's like when the market is coming down, you're buying more for less instead of less for more. Because a lot of people get involved into the market when they hear everything is good and everything is going to the moon. So that's when they start, well, how much I need to get started? And then they start buying into companies that they hear about that's moving fast. We can revisit that one again. And when it pulls back, they don't know what to do.
Okay, okay. Um, sorry. So, I'm sorry, Prez. Like I told you, I was gonna be distracted there for a second. I was trying to work
It's
on
okay.
something. But with compound interest, what were you saying about that? Did you touch on, the value of what the compound interest as well as the dividends, reinvesting your dividends is gonna do for you by, not being shaken out of these time frames of these years or month stretches when you think this is not the time to invest because you don't have the you're not open. You don't have that money mindset that we currently have of buy
Mhm.
low, hold long term. I don't even want to say buy low, sell high because I feel like some people are selling too quickly. Buy low and hold and let it build and grow and let the compound interest work its magic and let those dividends continue to increase your share size. So
Mhm.
did you cover am I elaborating enough? Did we
I
cover enough
covered
here?
everything except for the part about dividends and reinvesting your dividends and things of that nature. Like
Okay,
for
okay,
me, for example, in majority of my portfolios that I currently manage, I do have my drip turned on, all except for like one or two, and that I choose to do that way because I would much rather reinvest those dividends where I see fit on my own. So
okay.
that's the only reason why I don't have drip turned on in those two particular portfolios.
Mhm. Okay. All right. So, yes, that compound interest is like a snowball that without as well as the dividends, it's like it's gonna um just help you to just build even during the times when like it's not that you're turned off to investing, it's that your budget might be a little tight or something like that. At
Hmm.
least it's your account is still going to be growing. So just take advantage and don't and prioritize your investing. It shouldn't be a after we pay everything else, then we consider saving and investing. All right. So, about the wallet, Anthony, how are you? I think the biggest question I get from people is when to sell.
That's a good question. That's a good question. That solely depends on the actual person. That's why I say it's always good to have an exit plan, an exit strategy set up before you even enter into the trade or investment for that matter. You should already know how long am I willing to hold on to this. Am I willing to hold this for 5 years and then trim a little bit of my position? Am I willing to hold this for 10 years, then maybe sell all of my position and buy it back at a lower price? You have to, it's not a one size fit all shoe at the end of the day. You have to have that already predetermined before you even start buying. Like, for example, I say, if I'm going to buy into Apple, I want to hold this for at least 20, 25 years. You understand? Before I even think about taking any profit or anything, I just simply want to accumulate throughout the years. And then once that 25-year mark hit, then we'll talk about taking profit or trimming some of my position or things of that nature.
I hear you. I hear you on that. And I think I love that you use both of the words, trade and invest. And I
Hmm.
think that's what needs to be in the decision. And for some of us, if you don't want to get into trading and thinking about when to sell and all of these things, just focus on your retirement account. And then the end for you, that when you're going to start to draw from it, is going to be when you're retired, whatever that age is that you intend on retiring. If it's in your 60s, your 50s, 70, I don't know what you think, your future looks like, but it can be that long, even if you are in your 20s. It could be that you are planning this investment account is for when you are 65, you know? So just think about the long-term picture. Um, all right. So, and guys, I said this at the beginning of the show. Let us know what your thoughts are with it being football season. If you guys like this time slot, this day and time slot, it's our first time. We've been going for it's about 28, 29 weeks of doing our show, but we
Yeah.
have not been through football yet. So let us know your thoughts and maybe we'll put up a poll to see. I don't know how to do a poll in here in the chat because I
I think we
never.
started back in like January.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
think so.
I think I'm pretty sure I requested from you that we skip Super Bowl Sunday, and then we
Hmm.
picked back up after, but we didn't have many weeks of, really
Right.
being
We
in
started at the
football
end of the
season.
season. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But we've been through other things um, so, hey, Joe, I did get to meet Joe recently. Well, last week, I think
That's
Thursday, I met
awesome.
Joe.
I saw the pictures.
Yes. We had a nice chat. Okay. So now on to point number 4, staying up to date with current events, but thinking long term. So the events, things are always going on, just like we shared with Dell and Palantir. Apple's having an event tomorrow morning, and these things are going to impact the stock price. Dell and Palantir went up at least 7% each on the news that they were going to be new additions, or what Dell is a returning addition to the S&P 500. So, Prez, what are your thoughts on our insights on what we should do to continue to stay informed?
Well, what I basically do, well, I have all kind of notifications set for different news sources like your Yahoo Finance, your CNBC. I don't just use one primary source. I use multiple different sources to because not only do I invest, I also day trade. So,
Mhm.
being as though I do both, I know I need to be informed as to what's going on day to day versus someone else. They may only need to check in as to what's going on with the overall market, maybe like once a week or something like that, or they hear a news headline or something like that. Also, the more you stay informed, the more you can spot good buying opportunities. You understand what I'm saying? If you only check in your portfolio once a month or something like that, once every 2, 3 months, but you got auto invest on or something like that, you could be potentially missing out on opportunities to maybe double down or invest a lump sum on this particular day or something like that. So it's always good to stay informed with what's going on now. At the same time, have that mindset that's looking 15, 20, 25, 30 years down the road.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, and keep and be open because like certain things can happen that can impact a certain area,
Mhm.
renewable energy or healthcare but that's where both Pres and I rely heavily or have chosen to have a strong foundation built upon an ETF. So you're getting that built-in diversification and you don't have to have all of that concern on individual sectors or on individual stocks when there is issues or things that come up. You're just able to just build and focus on the long term and your potential growth in time with building that strong portfolio should really be huge. So, balancing short term news and your long term vision is the encouragement that I think we're trying to show you here. And I think, and if you haven't been investing for a long period of time, set yourself some goals. It's not going to happen overnight. Don't look for huge changes, but set yourself a term of, I would say, how long would you say, Prez, before you really know if you're on track with your portfolio? I definitely, there are many positions in mind that after I would say 4 or 5 years, I can see how solid they are. I have no
Mhm.
worries about them, and I'm still building into some of them for the, long term, like, for example, Amazon. I haven't stopped building out my Amazon position. But I think some people are just so they're giving up too soon on investing. So at a
I
minimum,
normally will I'll do like a soft evaluation. I don't know if that's even a real word or not. Like I'll do a soft evaluation where I'll go through each individual investment after like 6 months. The first 6 months after I entered into that particular investment, I'll look at how it's performing and I'll determine, okay, well, then these next 6 months, if it's not performing well or something like that, then I start thinking about what I should do. Should I invest more into it? Should I invest less into it? Should I wait till after this year is over with and cut my losses for tax purposes? These are all things that I think about. But I don't really start looking for any results till after at least 1 year. And it
one
depends.
year.
It all depends on how much you're actually investing from the get go. If you're only investing $5 a day, then you may need to be looking maybe 1.5 years or something like that before you start seeing any real results.
Mhm, mhm. And of course, my encouragement is, and I know you can't, not everyone can do this from day one, but get to the point where you're investing 10% to 15% of your income would be, I would say, at a minimum that you should strive for. But like I said, I know that you can't, not everyone can jump in at those levels, but
Hmm.
strive for that because those small investments, they help and they contribute, but we need to have a much more significant amount invested in order to build and grow for our future if we do not
Hmm.
want to be dependent upon Social Security, which will be probably very low, who knows, barely in existence, as compared to what our financial needs are going to be when we are older. I know that, just I live in a house with a yard and we when it snows and all those different things, I know that if I want to continue staying here, there are going to be expenses that at some point I'm not going to be able to get out there and do those things. I'm going to need assistance and that's going to be another bill. So,
Hmm.
um anything in the chat you want to highlight before we move on? Thank you
Do
for
you think
being here,
Nvidia
Kevin.
still have room to grow as a stock? Actually, I do think it still has room to grow as a stock. Now you're gonna have your pullbacks and things of that nature, but in case you've been living under a rock, I believe that it's about to be like Terminator 2 out here, Rise of the Machines, and artificial intelligence is coming to take your job. So why not capitalize on that and make some money with them instead of just sitting back and just wondering like, I hope this don't happen. If we see it happening, if you already notice, you don't need if you won't see many physical security guards like in your grocery store. I was explaining to somebody the other day. I go into the giant supermarket and they
Mhm.
got a robot security guard with the little googly eyes following me around the store named Stan. He has a name badge and all of that, but that's artificial intelligence, the beginning stages of it. Then you got your self checkout lanes and your things like that where you don't even really need many human cashiers and you just need somebody to troubleshoot in case something goes wrong. It's not taking your payment or something like that, or you need help scanning something, then they right there to swipe their badge and help you ring your stuff up. But other than that, he says AI can't replace us all. No, they can't replace us all, but it's I don't see anything wrong with making some money off of these companies while technology is advancing in that way, in that direction.
Agreed. Yeah, everything. You see it implemented in everything. You go into McDonald's and there's a screen. They don't want you to go to a person. They want you to go to the screen and do your order and just, everything is just so streamlined everywhere you go. So, thank you for King Morgan and Kevin and TC and everyone that has joined. Hey Neo, what is Neo talking about over here with the googly eyes?
Googly eyes.
He saw a Cybertruck on the freeway the other day. Those Cybertrucks are ugly,
Yes, they are.
but I
Yeah,
surely
the googly eyes, they be on the teddy bears. You can shake the
mhm.
teddy bear up and the eyeballs move around. It's like a plastic coating underneath the eyeballs. You know what I
Oh
mean?
god. Such a mess. But, so let's move on to our next point. So on to point number 4, the best time to start investing could be during a market downturn. I'm gonna share this image. So I had this in my story right now. I think it's in my Instagram story. So it's saying you are here down pointing to September, which is usually historically over the last few decades or longer than that actually uh, a month where the stock market is going to be down. And someone inboxed me and said, "Lisa, what does this mean? We should be buying more now?" And, I had to give them my generic response of kind of like not financial advice, but yeah, I think that's what I'll be doing.
Mhm.
So, what do you want to share on this topic that this could be the best time to start?
Absolutely, absolutely. This is a wonderful time to get started if you haven't started already, because over the summer we pretty much watched the whole entire market go to the moon, and it was driven by big tech. And if you look at a lot of these share prices now compared to then, a lot of these companies are on sale right now, in my opinion. Yeah, we could potentially go lower, but we don't know at the end of the day. What if it doesn't go lower?
Well, yes, but yeah, I would say historically, most likely, like I said, not financial advice. If you were to get started now and throughout October, I think you should definitely October and maybe even into November with the
Hmm.
way things are looking on certain investments. I think you would be really giving yourself a head start of what the following months after that are going to look like. So,
Hmm.
um, I know I actually last year was it last year? Yes, last year, late September is when I started investing into FXAIX. And I'm telling you, from that late September throughout October, I really got some good prices as far as those initial days when I started to build out that portfolio. So
Hmm.
I'm glad that I didn't jump all in late October in one shot but that's me. And most people, I actually did get a question from someone as to why I didn't just invest like a large sum all at once, why I was doing it day by day, week by week. But um, I'm glad that I did it that way because it did give me an opportunity to average down and get some lower price points. So it worked out well. And at that time, I wasn't even as in tune as I am now with looking at the historical numbers and the weeks and the months in order to have achieved that. It was just my plan in getting started, but after I got started, I saw the trends and was able to invest heavier when it came into last October when it comes to that particular investment and others. So everything. We want everything on sale, but when it's our investments, for some reason, our mind just clicks in a different way and we think
Mhm.
we got to get rid of it. We got to get rid of it. But it all depends on what you invested into. Was it a true investment? If it was, I'm going to be holding because everything in my portfolio right now, I think I've gotten rid of the things that should not have been there. So I'm good and I'm going to be holding on to everything that I have. And going forward, I know the difference between what is a trade and what is an investment. So those things are going to have a stop loss set and a plan in place from day one, from as soon as I make the purchase, as soon as my order is filled. And from there, I'll know how to move and navigate that. So
Mhm.
Peachy, are you just enjoying the discussion today? I hope you are. So let's see. Anything else you want to share as far as getting started? Stocks being on sale, the stock market crash examples, I already touched on 2008. My oldest, not my oldest, my youngest daughter was born in 2008. And
Mhm.
I know the stress of that year. What was going on in your life back then, Press?
2008. I was on my vacation in
Oh, okay.
2008.
Okay.
Yes,
Never
I was on,
mind. I know it's
but
vacation we're talking about.
my family did go through a lot of financial stress during that times. I can remember, communicating with them while I was away. I can remember them going through a lot of, financial hardships. I think one of my family members had ended up losing their house behind that whole housing crisis fiasco that
Mhm.
was going
Yeah.
on. So looking back on it, I didn't understand what was going on back then, but now that I'm a lot wiser now and I understand what happened back then, now it kind of set off a fire inside of me, like is almost like I got something against these corporations, whereas though I got to get what I feel as though is owed to me from these corporations via the free open market.
Okay. Let me highlight Jeff M. Jeff, I don't think I've ever seen you before. Welcome in. So he's saying, if we had to start over again, knowing what we know now, what two stocks, uh, what we look for during a market downturn for the long term? Um, you go first, Prez. I know what you're gonna say.
Walmart,
Well,
Walmart,
oh,
that's
I don't.
one. Walmart is one. Two, I would say maybe Meta.
Okay, so you're focusing on individual stocks. I thought for sure you were gonna throw some VCI or
You thought I was gonna say
VOO.
BTI? He
I
said
thought
stocks.
you
He
I
didn't say
thought he said
ETF.
he did. Individual stocks, I tell you, knowing what I know now, what I did, and this is kind of me not wanting to. I've touched on this, before. You guys who've been here often know this story already. How I didn't want to mess up my average on Apple when it was like 120, 115, 120. So I took a break. I took a long break, but an unnecessary break from investing into Apple. But like I said, I'm not going to beat myself up about it because while I was taking my break from Apple, I was working on the Amazon and the Google and some other things. So, but there was no reason for me to ever take a break from investing into Apple. And I wish I would have gotten into NVIDIA sooner than 2024. But, those are some individual stocks as well as let me share this because I was looking at this and I pulled it up for because you always bring up this Walmart. So what did you choose instead of Walmart, Price? Was it Home Depot?
Home Depot
Home Depot. Well, this
instead
this
of
image
Walmart.
this image shows discount stores. So Home Depot's not in there. But
Nope.
and I think someone in the chat, was it Nija? She just mentioned Dollar Tree or oh, no, she was mentioning that Dollar Tree has replaced their cashiers. Yes, everywhere you go. It's so annoying. I hate self-checkout. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have Target in my portfolio, and you see, just like you, I I would have made a better choice by choosing Costco or Walmart
Hmm.
or even BJ's. But, you live and you learn, and this is why I have uh I don't think I'm not upset by it. I'm slightly disappointed, but the target that I have in my portfolio is not a large position. So it's a low percentage of the overall portfolio. Apple, Google, VTI are larger positions. Even Tesla is a larger position. So um, you have to do your research, use your best judgment, but all you can do is move forward once you make these decisions. But Target as opposed to Walmart, just like, Prez, I would have been a better choice, but I did not know. I thought that Target was, this is a few years ago when I started investing, I thought it was at a good price point, as well as when I first started with Disney, thought it was coming down and it just kept on coming down. But I still see the long-term potential in both and I am holding. So, Prez, something you wanna highlight in the chat? I see you looking. I see
I
you
saw
grinning.
D said she's telling me to go ahead and get Walmart. Well, based off of what's currently going on in my personal life, which I will, be sharing on, on my channel as to, the good news that I just got. I may be able to work on a project that I had to abandon due to my financial situation. So I may have a chance to get Walmart this month. It's looking rather bright for me. So I may have an opportunity to pick it up this month while we're in this current downturn.
Okay. I see some chatting about AMD going on in the chat.
I saw somebody said they bought it at $3 and sold it at 5. Yeah, be right.
Mhm.
Wow. Imagine if you would have held on to it now, but back then it probably wasn't a very profitable company at all. It probably wasn't even profitable yet. You understand what I'm saying? So you probably was looking at it like it was a trade, but it's always an opportunity to you're not gonna find it at that price probably ever again, but you can still get into it at a later price, at a higher price, but later down the line, now that they're proving themselves to be more and more solid as far as a company standpoint, as far as bringing in revenue, net income, and things like that.
So Neo's asking, have you guys ever bought super heavy in one buy? Definitely yes. I would say yes. And my budget is not the next person. So when I say heavy, I would say, picking up full shares, definitely do that. I've invested, say, $2,000 at a time into FXAIX would be probably the place where I did my largest lump sum investing like that because I closed an old IRA and then I was reallocating that money back out. So it gave me the opportunity to do some of those larger purchases. But yeah, I also like to share with people that like to insinuate that all we do is $5 or $10 investments. We're not sharing our entire portfolios here.
Right.
And retirement is where my retirement accounts, which I have three of them, is where I have my largest investments. But I would like to retire early. And so I've decided to have additional investments, real estate, as well as investment portfolios for myself and for my daughter, which I am the person that is maintaining that for her right now. So anything on that, Press?
The largest lump sum investment that I made, I'm not proud of it. I'm not even proud of it. I'm not even gonna lie to you because it was a trash company. I didn't have the right mindset. when
Mhm.
I did it, when I made that purchase, and I ended up losing money. So that's why I don't even bring it up. I don't even talk about it or anything like that. But I do stress the importance of knowing what you're investing into before you put your money into something, because you could be looking at a 30% pullback and you're selling at a loss when you should have just not even got into it in the first place. But yeah, I made a large lump sum investment into a hype stock. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I regret it to this day. Like, I've since gained my losses back from me trading, but I still look back on it like I'm looking at my P&L for each individual stock that I've ever invested into on this particular app, and I'm like, man, I should have never did that. I should have never did that, and I just
Mhm.
keep looking at it as a reminder, like, don't you do that no more.
Yeah. But we lived and we've learned, and now we are willing to be here and share the good and the bad. And I think I was watching uh Anthony one night, and he was saying, if you've been through the mess, then you deserve to be the messenger. So Prez
Hmm.
and I are the messengers, but we've also improved upon we've also done the legwork and put in the time in order to improve ourselves before we got to this stage. We're not just sharing the mess, we're sharing the solutions on how not to go through the mess, as well
Hmm.
as how to do better going forward. At least that's what I'm aiming to do over here. So, anything else in the chat that you want to highlight?
People say, well, what can you learn from prayers? You can learn quite a bit. You can learn from my mistakes, for one, because a lot of my mistakes are a lot fresher than a lot of other people that you will see on this platform. You understand what I'm saying? Because I haven't been in the game very long at all, but was smart enough to learn quick. Like, I always have I don't even know what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
I'm looking at
I'm
you
sorry.
like, where are you going with this, Press?
I'm sorry. I lost my train of thought. But yeah,
Okay,
I like
okay,
to share my good experiences as well as my bad experiences, in hopes that I can inspire you not to make some of the mistakes or any of the mistakes that I've made along my journey. And yeah, that's where I'm at with that one.
okay, okay. So what we were talking about was this could be the best time to start. So I'm just going to highlight a few what now,
They
Fred?
laughing at me because I just got stuck. I lost my train of thought.
Listen, we're trying, we're doing this thing, y'all. Some
We human,
people,
y'all. We human.
yes, yes. Um, so like we were saying, I touch on this all the time too, that there's ups and downs. There's months, there's time periods. We already touched on 2008 with the recession that we were going through. Another notable time frame is of course March 2020 with the pandemic, and another is September '01, following everything that happened with 9/11. So, I know these are a couple of these things, of course, are terrible times that we were going through. And I hope that nothing like these things are coming up again for us, but we have to I wish I had my eyes open more so at the beginning of 2020 to not be intimidated. My biggest obstacle back then was I was newer to the company that I was working at, and
Mhm.
my thought process was, if someone is going to get laid off, I might be the first person. So I want to hold on to my cash because I just don't know. I don't know. Whereas I wish I would have just put every last dime into Apple and VCI and all the different things, the regular things. Nothing, no Neo or ChargePoint, regular
Mm-mm.
good sound investments. I wish I would have just put it in and then dealt with, do I have to sell, and taken on that tax hit if I needed to, which the way things turned out, I probably never would have needed to until this day have sold any of my stock because everything turned out okay. I've been working, throughout the last few years. I was working 100% remote for a long time during that time frame with the pandemic. So, but I just want to highlight those as times. And if something does happen in the future, just have the mindset that we're trying to encourage you to develop now so that we can take advantage, whether it's the yearly September slump that we're always probably going to be going through, or if something more notable occurs that you can will be going through a very hard time, but you can, as far as your financial future, turn it into an opportunity. So, any
Mhm.
thoughts on that, Press?
Um, Absolutely. Don't be afraid when the market pulls back, for one. You should be trying to create other streams of income so that you can invest as much as you can, more than what you normally could, if you can, if you're able to, if it's financially feasible for you to do so. I wish I would have been able to invest a lot more during the previous downturn in the market because, wow, it was a lot of these good companies. You're just not going to see them at those prices ever again. I don't see you seeing those unless we have a show enough full on, Lord forbid, World War III or some sort of black swan event, or I don't know, but you're not gonna see a lot of these companies at those prices ever again. Like you probably won't never see Apple at $100 again, or you
Mhm.
probably won't ever see Tesla at $89 again. You just won't.
Not in our lifetime. Um, yeah, B Wright said that, they kind of shrugged off Tesla and was like, "Yeah, right. What are you talking
Mm,
about?" But, that's how life's gonna go, but there'll always be something else, or like we always say, you don't have to always be chasing those individual stocks.
mhm.
Bet on the whole, US economy in your investments. So,
I shrugged off Palantir
uh-huh.
mainly because I got into it not knowing what it was that I was investing into. I bought it at the top of the previous cycle and pretty much watched it bleed down before I finally cut my losses. But here we are, right at the point where I bought in at. If I would have just continued to dollar cost average into that investment, well, at that time I didn't think it was. I didn't know if it was a good investment or not. I'm not gonna sit here and lie like I knew what I was doing when I was doing it because I didn't at the end of the day. But knowing what I know now, I probably would have held on to it all of that time and added some, slowly but surely added to that position. And I probably would have been nice and green right now compared to me buying it back in January. And I don't have nowhere near as much as I had back then when I sold it for a loss.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep, but, we live and we learn, and all we could do is go forward, and there will be more opportunities ahead of us. Um, so, like, we can't revenge trade. We can't, be shaken out of good, sound investments. We just have to take it one day at a time and just
Mhm.
put the work in, and, hopefully there if you are confused or indecisive about what's going on, there's someone out there to support you. What's funny? Who
Denise
is
said, I want another lockdown. I need 3% interest rates again.
you know? Ugh,
Zero. They was like zero, weren't they? I believe
for
the interest rates was zero during the lockdown.
Um, interest rates were 0. I don't know what you're talking about there for us. I did refinance. So I bought one home, really at the height of everything going on, and I refinanced another. And yeah, I'm about, 2 to low 3.3% as far as the mortgages. So that worked out well. Yeah, I wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the paper downstairs. I got my letter in the mail. Um, I had done a video a couple weeks ago about interest rates as far as, store cards and credit cards,
Mhm.
and, um, Macy's is like almost 35% interest rate on my Macy's card.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I don't even
So,
think they're gonna be around much longer.
No, but yeah, I don't wanna lock down. You know, I feel funny sometimes when I'm out. Like, I was at a party last week, and it just feels so weird I think I'm still having flashbacks to wearing the mask and social distancing, and
Yeah,
it's just like, when you're out at these things, you're constantly hugging and shaking hands, and everyone is all crowded in these different spaces. And it's like, wow, sometimes I just look at the sea of people and say, like, I didn't think it was ever going to be like this again. But yeah, we are there. And I know a couple of people that have had COVID this year. So,
hmm
we still have to be mindful. Um, so, Macy's, don't deny anyone. So Neil said Macy's was one of his first cards.
Mine's
Uh,
too.
really? Macy's?
Mine's too. I think I was
Oh, okay. Yeah.
19.
Y'all are classy. Macy's was not my first card. I think I had a major credit card because I got a credit card in the hallway at college by the cafeteria. They
hmm
used to do that back then. I think there's some laws and different things in place now, but I definitely had a major credit card and, a Visa or a MasterCard or something. But I think my first 2 store cards, definitely one was Sears and the other was Learners, or which what turned out to change to New York and Company.
hmm
Those were some of my credit cards from back in
Wow.
the days. But yeah, I definitely had a Sears card, and Sears didn't ask you for nothing as far as your minimum monthly payment. It would be
hmm
very small. They asked for like $13. You had a pretty significant balance. They wanted you to just be paying
The
all
Heck
the
Company was the same way. I believe
Mhm.
they ended up merging with Macy's, but my very first card was a Macy's card, and then right after that I got one for the Heck Company because they sold a lot of Nautica apparel, and Nautica was real popular at that point in time.
Yeah, yeah, Joe saying she has the same experience. Yeah, they used to get us with those credit cards and in the hallway.
Predatory London, yep.
Yes, yes. New York& and Company, yes. Nigel, you seem like someone who would like know you New York& and Company. That was my store.
They would give you gifts when just for you signing up for the credit card, and
Yes.
hey, you get this free travel bag if you sign up or enter for this sweepstakes, and you can maybe win $500, or they give you
Mhm.
a gift card or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
predatory lending.
Lots of
Getting us to rack up all this consumer debt at young adults.
lots of hats and T-shirts and goodies, and yeah, I came home from my event. I was at Vid Summit last week. I came home from my event with lots of little goodies and tchotchkes like that. Let me see. Did I share everything here? All right, so let's move on to our last points of the day. Uh, and that is block
Blocking
out.
out other people's opinion when it comes to your investing journey. You're gonna have whether if especially if you're sharing your journey with other people, you're gonna have somebody naysaying, oh, that's not enough, that's not gonna cut it, it's gonna take you forever to see gains, or you have too many positions, or you should think about consolidating. When at the end of the day, it's your money, it's your journey, it's your portfolio, and you are in charge. Never mind what they say. At the end of the day, what they eat don't make you.
Mhm. So whether it's working out or health concerns, or of course what we talk about here, finance, I talk about these things with who I know is going to encourage me.
hmm
Now, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying and see my point of view on this. If I want to talk stock, I'm going to talk to Prez or someone that is going to uh, be focused and have an understanding of my goals, big and small, and help me and encourage me, and not say the things that Prez was just saying about, never mind about that. And you're not going to get much gain, or that, just try to discourage me and not tell me, Lisa, that get on track, start slow, build. You had to sell, you got off track. Let's make a goal, let's make a plan to get going again. That's what I want to hear, and that's what that is the good encouragement. But you have to know who you're surrounded by and who to go to for certain things. There are other things that maybe I wouldn't go to Prez for advice and encouragement on because maybe he hasn't gone through it. Maybe he's not familiar with it, but I know who I can go to that has been in the shoes of the the obstacle that I am working on. So I'm going to go to that person and get the guidance and encouragement that I need. Like I have some health concerns and I've connected with people through my doctor's office and had like met with people even in person, a support group to talk about certain issues that we're all sharing. And that's a good environment. I've joined some Facebook groups. I'm not going to put it on my regular Facebook timeline of what my issue is, but if I go to the group and I chat within that group, I can then connect with people that may have had a procedure or had an issue that I'm currently dealing with. So that's how I look at it. And oh, Miss Frugal, thank you so much. She just gifted some memberships. Let me see.
Awesome.
I have to see. I want to see who got the memberships, if there's any familiar names in there. But my phone, of course.
I see Wellness with Frugal Mama,
Okay.
uh, Darling X, Blessed Life Journey, Jay Samuels, Daryl Cherry Sr. Mm-hmm.
Daryl.
One,
Okay.
two, three, four, five.
Oh,
Yeah, that's five.
she just gifted another 5 over on your side too, Prez.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Miss Frugal. Dang, 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 dang.
I think she's giving us incentive. Maybe we need to do a dual member live now that you have membership. But thank you so much for all your support. I appreciate
Somebody
that.
said I want a membership.
Well, you can't. I'm sorry. The gifted ones were not assigned to you, but you can go and that little dollar sign, click on it.
I laugh because I be saying that because you sent me the videos on how to set it up on my channel, but I don't have that option to where as though I can even click it on. I don't know what's going on with my YouTube account, this particular YouTube account, but it won't even allow me to click on those little 3 dots where
Yeah.
you can actually turn the feature on. It is not available for me.
So I think maybe last Tuesday,
Hmm.
Miss Frugal gifted memberships on your side, and I got one. So I am a gifted member right now
Yeah,
on my co-host Press channel.
you get them
Listen,
all.
I do. And listen, as much as I watch your channel, when those gifted memberships came out, YouTube knows that I deserved one. Just like every time they give memberships, someone gives memberships on Keenan's channel. I've never had a membership on Keenan's YouTube channel. Every time, almost every time, someone gives memberships over there, I get it because I
Hmm.
tune in. I tune in. I am a true supporter of you guys. So that algorithm or however they get sent out,
Hmm.
I think it's working because I get lots of gifted memberships. I had one for Peachy, but it took 2 times of the gifting before it hit me. But I thought
Wow.
that first time when the gifted because she had gifted some herself. You know you can do that? I haven't done
Mm,
it yet, but down the road I will.
no, I didn't know
You
you could do that.
you can gift, memberships of your own channel at no cost to you. You can just give it
Wow, I
out.
didn't know that. I didn't
Yes.
know that.
So, we can reach out to Miss V on how to do that,
Okay.
but you don't know who they're gonna go to. So,
I don't care.
yeah.
I don't care.
Okay, okay. Um, thank you so much, Miss Frugal. I appreciate that. Well, Karen, AKA Miss Frugal, I appreciate you. Um, so we've gone through all of our points. Do you want to do a quick recap of what our 5 points were today, Press?
Okay, let me pull it back and pull up my notes because I done forgot that quick. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, when I went to list number 5, you was like swooped in.
I still had it on my screen at the time,
Oh,
but I switched off of that screen because I wanted to see who got the gifted memberships on your side. I don't know who
mhm.
got them on my side yet. I haven't even looked back there, looked on my side yet. But
Oh, Alana Victory got a gifted membership.
that is awesome.
Yes.
A lot of victory. Welcome in. Thank you for tuning in. Good to see
Yes,
you. Hopefully all is well.
we were talking about Alana last week. Was it last week? Where I was saying that Alana was trying to explain to you, like, Lisa had her stop loss on tight. That is why she made $5.88.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wasn't
yeah. That was that day I lost money and you was in and out in profit. I was like, how'd she do that? Like, what? She must got some fast fingers because
I wasn't playing that day.
I see you
Yeah.
out playing that day. But basically we're currently in a bad month historically when it comes to the overall performance of the market. So what I would say is, and how I'm navigating this is, don't allow a market crash to scare you out of good, solid investments. We also touched on why staying consistent during a market crash is important, mainly due to compound interest. We also stressed the fact that you should be staying up to date with current events while simultaneously having the thought process that's looking years ahead when it comes to your long-term investments. We also touched on if you haven't started investing yet, what are you waiting for? You should be getting started. This is a good time for you to get started investing. And finally, we touched on blocking out the naysayers. Like if they're not encouraging you, don't listen to what they have to say because it's your journey at the end of the day. Even if they're currently in the market and then they're saying your starting point is not where their starting point is. Your background may not be the same as their background, and I'm proud of you just the fact that you're here listening, getting your head on straight now. If you're not currently investing, you're taking the time to invest in yourself to at least look into it, to inquire about it, versus laying down and letting society do whatever it feels like doing to you, and all you're doing is crying about somebody come save me. When at the end of the day, in my opinion, I feel that no one is coming to save you when it comes to your finances. You have to put that work in and do that research and save yourself.
Agreed, agreed, agreed. And, um, I don't know off the top of my head the statistic of exactly what the average, and it all depends on how much you've worked and what type of roles you've had over the years. But the amount for Social Security or disability, if that's what you winds up occurring for you, it is
Mhm.
very insignificant when I think how much money I need monthly um, for just even if I didn't have a mortgage, just for taxes, car insurance, food, maintenance on the car, gas for the car. I spend a significant amount of money per month, and a $1,300 a month check would not go far. So that's why I really, like you're saying, we have to get ready to depend on ourselves. We have to take care of our older selves. So,
Especially if you have any sort of similar background to my own. Like I've spent majority of my early 20s all the way up to mid 30s in and out of prison. So my work history isn't all of that good. So I'm not expecting hardly any social security when it gets time for me to retire because I messed up my early parts of my adult life. So I'm basically playing catch up right now. That's why I trade every day. Well, for the most part, I trade every day so that I'm able to speed up what I'm investing consistently weekly or monthly or however I choose to invest because I already know in my mind, like, yeah, you wasn't doing much of anything but throwing bricks at the penitentiary when you was in your 20s and 30s. So now that you're in your 40s and 60 is right around the corner, like I'll be
mhm,
46 in just a few short days. So you understand what I'm saying? So if you have any sort of background similar to mine, you really should be buckling down and building your nest egg for your retirement age. Social Security just might not be enough, especially if you hardly even work the legal job.
Yes. Yes. I think it'll always be there because, they want us to come out and vote and
Mhm.
they don't want, that much of an uproar from the people that have been contributing it for their whole lifetime. So I think there'll always be something there, but when you think about the numbers, which you can contact Social Security and find out what your numbers
Yeah, I
are. They
have.
don't send
It
out.
looks really meager.
Okay. Yeah, they don't send out statements like they did years ago because of, potential, fraud and issues. I don't know if I hope I usually sound good because I feel like I'm right on top of the microphone. Um, but yeah, we all have to be mindful of these things, but I think there'll be something, but, like, yeah, I always say and another thing with that is that they keep increasing the age. So 67, I think
Mhm.
there are, trying to put that to 72. So, alright, so I we already touched on it. This was another one of my slides that I had pulled was about the Palantir and Dell joining the S&P, while Etsy and American Airlines are
Wow.
leaving. So,
This is news to me. I had no clue.
yes. So the rebalancing takes place quarterly. And that is another advantage of investing into an ETF. As these companies grow, their market cap grows, or if they're, in the other way around, if they're having issues, they will be dropped out of it and then replaced with a company that is in line with the goals that they have. And then you will be having exposure to that company within your ETF. So
Mhm.
let's see, what else did I have here? Well, I didn't get all of my screenshots in. Let's just quickly, do you have anything on notable earnings coming up this week? I
I
mentioned earlier.
actually haven't even looked, to be honest. All of the main companies have already reported their earnings for this particular quarter that I was interested in, that I
Mhm.
currently own for the most part. So I haven't really been keeping up as to who reports earnings from the last 2, maybe 3 weeks. I haven't posted any earnings calendars or anything like that because it's really not my concern right now because, like I said, all of my longer term investments already reported their quarterly earnings. So I'm
Yes.
just waiting for next earnings season to come through. So plus on top of that, I don't trade earnings plays or anything like that because they're so risky. It's like throwing, you might as well just light your money on fire or try to throw a dart at a board with your eyes closed, blindfolded, if you think you're going to make good money consistently trading companies off of earnings reports.
Yeah, yeah. So I know we have, just to highlight a few, not really notable for this week, but we have Oracle tomorrow. On Tuesday, we have GameStop and Petco.
Mm,
And on Thursday, we have Adobe and Big Lots. But I may post that to the community wall if anyone is interested. But yeah, not a very exciting week, but I'm more excited about Apple's event, which is going to be tomorrow morning. So, because that is a position that I actually have a significant amount in. And I think I saw, I haven't seen him here today, Stock Talk David. I
mhm.
think I think he got to his 100 shares of Apple. But
Wow, I saw this video. I haven't had a chance to actually check it out yet, but it did.
yeah,
I
I
did
think I
hit it
saw
to the.
the title
I'll
on
watch
his
later.
premiere. Yeah.
That's
That's
awesome.
but he's not here to get his shout out, I don't think.
Right.
Maybe he's off watching football. Maybe he's watching the
Probably
Giants
so.
game.
Probably so.
I don't know where he's from. So, any update how the Giants doing, Prez? Do you know?
The
Are you
Giants.
are you watching football over there? Oh, you can care less about Giants? I know.
Yeah, I can
Ravens?
care less
What?
about the Giants. I'm Ravens. I'm Ravens.
Who's fl I
Oh
don't okay.
man,
Never
I'm not
mind.
even from New York.
Football.
I've only been there once.
All right. So,
She
let's
said the
see, let's
Giants.
see.
Oh my goodness.
That's who is playing at 1 o'clock. Okay. Okay.
Dios
Raiders.
said Raiders.
I see. I see. But I think we had a good show. Guys, feel free to drop us a comment and let us
they
know.
they making fun of my eyes because I said when I said giant.
Oh,
Stock Talk David, he's here.
he is here. I was talking
Yes,
about you. Stock Talk David. Yeah, we were talking. We saw the headline of your premiere. Neither one of us has seen it. I don't know. I'm not sure if it came out yet, but we were talking about. Oh, you're still on the road at 96 shares. Okay, I
that is
thought you got to your
awesome.
100. I thought you got to your 100, but that is great. Okay. All right. So
So this
let's.
month, have you guys doubled your contributions to investing based on the market downturn, or you guys are still dropping the same amount since the year? Me personally, I wish I could have been doubling down currently, but financially, my pockets say no, but my mind say yeah. But yeah, if I could have, I would have been, but I wasn't able. I couldn't handle it. I couldn't swing it.
Mhm. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm doubling down, but I will be definitely going heavier, and setting some alerts for certain, investments that I've
I normally start doubling down once the market is pulled back at least 10% from the all-time highs, and it look like it's staying down there, and it look like it may start going down a little more than 10%. Then I'll start doubling down if I'm able to. If I'm not able to, then I'll just invest what I normally invest in. Try to find more money.
Mhm.
Try to find more money.
Okay, so final call. We did our recap, we did our show, we went through the 5 points. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this live stream has been helpful, and feel free to comment on anything that you would want us to cover in the future. And make sure to like, subscribe to both of our channels. Check out our investment links if you are interested in opening a new portfolio. We now have channel membership. Congratulations to everyone. Thank you so much again, Karen, for gifting memberships on both of our channels today. And
Yeah.
congratulations to our gifted members. Uh, Feel free to go over and do you have any members only posts that they can post anything on yet, Press?
I put up one post as to
Okay.
what I did on Friday from my trading results. But other than that, I'm still working on a real nice members only video. I want to
Okay.
make sure I take my time and do it right because I don't want to leave anything out. It's going to have a lot of value included into it, and it's basically going to be going over how I how I will rank different portfolios based on my pyramid strategy. For like what's at the bottom, what's at the top. You understand what I'm saying? And that's ranging across multiple different accounts. So I'm going to start there, and then I'll get into more as to how I allocate each individual portfolio.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. We have a little note here from Luis. He said he loves the show. Keep it weekly.
We'll follow
So
no matter the time.
we you said what?
He said we'll follow you
Well,
both
you
no
both
matter the
no matter
time.
the well,
He said I
thanks.
don't care what time we come on. Just click the live button and they're gonna be on here.
Okay. All right then. So I'm ready to close it down for today,
The
Press.
Buffer
Maybe
International says no trades, all cash till at least the 23rd of September. Just me and how I see it. Um, Me personally, I am actively trading, but I'm just not rushing to get into trades. I'm not really pressed to get into a trade. If the opportunity presents itself and it comes to me, then I'm all for it. But I already know we're in choppy parts of the chart right now, so I'm really not taking on any large trades. All of my trades are going to be small, fairly small, and I'm not looking to get a 20% gain on each trade or anything like that. If I see some profit, I'm taking it because I know how frothy the market is right now. You could be thinking it's going down and then it false breaks out to the downside and then it goes back up and you got another false breakout and you're getting stopped out too soon and you wonder why you constantly losing trades.
All right. Yes, there are lots of things to think about, but having a plan is key in order to be successful. Uh, well, one of the keys, but we touched on many other points that can help you on your journey as well. So, thanks for tuning in. Check out the description, check out everything that we will have tagged, and feel free to comment if you have any more insights or suggestions on things that you'd like to hear from us in the upcoming weeks. And thanks for tuning in again. So, Prez, you want to close this out for today?
Thank you all for tuning in. If you have not done so already, like, share, subscribe, share us out if you can. Stay consistent, y'all. And if you haven't got started yet, what are you waiting for? See y'all next week.
Bye.